Now, looking forward today to hearing your views on why you believe North American companies have a higher need for inventory management software. The first question that I was thinking of when we had this topic was, can you describe what is it? What is inventory management software?
Um, yeah, sure. Thanks for having me here, Dustin. Inventory management software is typically a combination between forecasting and replenishment. So, by building a forecast based on historical data, allowing input from planners, sales, any promotions, you go back to replenishing your warehouses and filling the pipeline of your supply chain. Basically, yeah, that's inventory management. And yeah, I see a bigger need in North America for having that software. And yeah, I got about three reasons for that. Um, First one being, I think North American markets are typically bigger. I see companies here are bigger than back in Europe. And by bigger, I don't necessarily mean in amount of inventory they have, but just the geographical size of markets. In Europe, you see companies, even though the European Union is there, companies tend to stick to their own region or country, whereas here, companies expand over the whole North America, and that leads to a more complex supply chain. Only already internally they're more complex, and that gives the need for having better forecasting at a branch level or a regional level, and having the proper replenishment parameters in place. Doing that using software can benefit those companies here way more than back in Europe. So that's basically my yeah, the first reason I've got for that. Furthermore, I see that there is actually a much higher emphasis on good education here in North America. People take more pride in having an MBA or a master's or any graduate degree, or having an APEX, having done an APEX education. That's very good. It's very positive for the market. But however, you can have your driver's license, but if you don't have a car, you're not going to get it anywhere. So in order to use that better education, to have those higher educated people, you need good software which can support their knowledge. And so the knowledge level here is good, better than Europe, but without the proper tooling, you're not going to get any further than what the level you're currently at. And the third reason I see is that why companies need inventory management software is that there's a higher turnover of people. Europe, we're pretty much pretty left governments, socialist. It's difficult to let people go. People don't leave companies as soon. And here I see there's a much higher turnover of employees. Businesses are tougher on their people, but that also means you need a stable workflow that is reproducible. You need to embed that in software, in your processes. And I see if you do your inventory management planning in Excel, that's just not reproducible, and it could lead to big trouble when somebody's leaving or you're letting them go, and that's a big risk for companies. And I think that's a very good reason to get dedicated software which has reproducible working methods, unlike Excel, which doesn't have that.
Is there anything unique about implementing in North America, implementing inventory management software?
Compared to my experience in Europe, I've been working in Europe for a year, and I'm here and currently residing in Toronto since half a year. And I see companies are more demanding of doing implementations. They're more demanding of the consultants, but there's not a big difference on that side. And technically, there's no difference at all.
Can you talk about where you've seen some success?
Um, are you talking about specifically a company, calling out a company name, or?
Not necessarily a name, but success in North America for North American companies. That
Yeah, definitely. I'm currently doing an implementation in automotive companies, and there's a lot of benefits. Typically, working with inventory dedicated software is way faster than working with Excel, so you get a lot of efficiency gains. Our software, Slim4, is designed to work on basis of management by exception. Meaning that planners got a lot more time to spend time on articles which actually need attention instead of going through a large list of articles and just finding out where the discrepancies are in their forecasting. Software will help them doing that, so they can actually spend their time, they can spend their knowledge, they can use their experience instead of just looking for those discrepancies, because that's something a system can take over really easily. And I think there's a huge success in that, and that's even next. There's inventory management tools like ours got a better forecasting. They got more advanced algorithms. That's already a big win. But I think the biggest win is in allowing the time for planners to spend on their forecast.
Thanks, Danny. Could you also provide a brief background of yourself?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, my name is Danny Bloom. I'm a lead. I'm an implementation consultant for Slimstock. Slimstock is the European market leader when it comes to inventory management software, and I've been working there for 1.5 years now. I got a Master of Science in Supply Chain Management from a university in Amsterdam. I was working in the Netherlands for about a year, and I currently live in Toronto in Canada. I'm doing a lot of implementations here in North America now, and yeah, so far that's been a lot of fun. It's a bit of a different market. It's more challenging. It's a fun continent to live on.
Well, thank you, Danny, for sharing today.
Yeah, no problem, Dustin.